Welcome back to our podcast, People Bring Profit. It is an exciting day for us at Aspire to Be Hospitality Group. We are finally opening our Aldine Buffalo Wild Wings Go.
Yes.
Not just opening, we're like an hour away
Yeah.
from opening the doors. We're 45 minutes away.
They're training back here. The crew has been training, Justin? How many days now?
They've been 4 days strong,
Okay.
open to close, multiple shifts, putting in the work.
Yes, they are. And the training team from corporate's here.
Yeah.
Our team's here training. Patrick and his team's back there. Jacob, our business coach is back there. Our GM's back there. We're so excited. It's our second Buffalo Wild Wings Go. This day has been a long day. It's beautiful outside. It was 32 degrees this morning.
Very cold.
But a drive in. So we're excited. We're going to spend the whole day here with the team. Brought everybody from our office. And we want to really talk to you about this opening and excitement about what we've gone through to get it here and what it's taken to get it here. There's a lot of people asking. I see franchisees posting on other podcasts asking, like, how long does it take to open? What did it take to open this? How much money did it take? And that's kind of want to have a little discussion about and what we're kind of going through this training. One backup on this thing, we talked about this when we were here, and we had to wait 20 days to get our final inspection from our fire marshal. And that's 20 days that we could have been open. Our contractors finished. All of our other inspectors came in, but they're so backlogged that we had to wait 20 days.
It was a small obstacle that we had to hurdle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't fun.
Wasn't fun.
It was terrible to sit here and watch the cameras and watch our teams just sit here and keep mopping the floors 10 days in a row almost, But we made it.
Yes,
we made it. We got open, and we are opening today. So I want to talk to this. I did this little list today because I've got a lot of these people asking these comments about it in time frame, because people need to understand when we signed this agreement, we signed to build, 15 of these goes? So we have to stay on a time frame. And it's a hard work to do that because it starts with a lot of legal, a lot of paperwork. This really falls on your side. And it started, when did we find this location?
So we signed the LOI in November of 2022. So we must have found the location either in October or close to November, because it takes us a little while once we find the location to get an LOI printed and agree and executed. And so you know what? Let me reel that in a little bit. We must have found this location probably in August or September.
I looked up on our flight log, and we came here in August, 17th.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I think that's when we toured this location with the guy, with our real
That makes
estate agent,
sense.
and then the LOI started on your work. So
So we signed it in November, and it took us a great amount of time to go to lease. Actually, we went to lease in March of 2023. So
man. And that's
it just takes a long time, but it's well worth the wait as far as the front end of this business, because you really want to negotiate those terms and get in at a good rate and good terms.
I have to laugh about this because that's when me and you and Justin came and found the site. And then me and Justin kind of have to step off and say, okay, Kim, do your work. And there was many a times you said, no deal.
Yeah.
No deal. We're walking away from this. And me and Justin had the biggest frown, like, what? We love this location. You're like, but you said no deal, and they come right back to the table, right?
Oh, yeah. You got to be in love enough with the location to be able to walk away from it.
That's right.
We need to go garage selling together.
Yeah.
I feel like someone would be asking for $10, and we would offer them $1.50.
Yeah, Kim would get it. Me and you would walk away.
14 months ago.
They would want 10. We would give them 5. Kim would give them $1.50. That's exactly right. So that's one thing you got to learn as a young franchisee or any developer out there. The leasing, I guess, the landlord, they're going to want the best deal for themselves, and then we want the best deal for ourselves. So we have to kind of meet in the middle. And there's a lot of negotiation. And we've noticed that because you have two LOIs you're working, or leases you're working at the moment right now.
Yeah.
And we're tug of war back and forth.
That's right.
And you did walk away from a deal completely. Me and you were so upset with our new sports bar that's coming down the line. And 2 months later, they came back to you.
Yeah.
And said, okay, we'll meet again.
I know.
And it worked.
I know just how far I can toe the line.
But what's amazing to me, this was a shopping center that was already built. It was something that moved out. We came in there, and it took about a year to get this thing open.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, because not only that, we had to do the leasing, then we had to go to plans, then we had to go to permitting, then we had to go to bidding out, and then construction. Then we had to sit again and wait for permitting to come finish their jobs.
That's right.
And then that's when Justin and the training team steps in and starts training.
Well, right. We were, 30 days ago, we hired a full staff, and we were raring and ready to go, and then permitting hit us. So we had to rinse and repeat that, and, we were delayed there. So what could have been 12 or 13 months wound up being 14, but you've got to prepare all the way through for, being able to adapt and go from there. But yeah, we finally have a full staff hired. They're trained, they're ready to go, and 14 months later, we're ready to open our go.
Yeah. And that was a problem too, because our guys went out there and hired a full team because we thought that we were going to get our opening quicker, but then we were slapped in the face again, like what our Starbucks happened to us. Same thing, and we've been complaining about it, but then we were locked down again, and then we had to kind of go back and rehire again. Another obstacle. But one thing on the training thing too, when we all came here a couple of days ago, and you looked at the schedule, sometimes you got to be careful of this because people new in this business don't understand this, but we hired, 20 people just recently, and you were like, no, we need like 40.
Well, yeah. So we hired, our team initially hired the 20, and then we realized that we had to 3 or 4 week wait. But when we stepped in the door for orientation, we saw 10 people.
Yeah.
Which, you can run a go with 10 people normally when you're open, but we're in a new store opening. So you're going to lose almost 50% of your staff when you bring your initial staff on. And so we just didn't have enough. So we were like, guys, we got to make this happen. We don't want to be interviewing and hiring in the middle of our initial training when we have corporate here training our people. So, man, our team got to work and they started calling and hiring.
Yes. And Justin, we've known that with our sports bars and our first go, that when you hire people, you need to almost double what you normally need. So if you need 70 people, you better hire 140.
Even if you're really, really dialed in and you're opening a store and you get your PARs ready and your opening schedule forecasts and you figure out who you want in the morning and the night and you run just one of the best orientations in the world and you really wow them into what your company is, still there's 10% that it's not going to be a good fit. 10% are maybe just trying to check a box on some paperwork to collect unemployment. We don't know everybody's circumstances, but you have to be able to have that huge buffer in place to make sure that we can staff for the business that we want, right? You're going to roll right into a honeymoon period. This is people's first time walking through the front door. You've got to be staffed.
You got to win it. And we noticed that too, and you saw that with the first day we were here for the orientation. That morning there was 10 people here, and that night they had 9 or 8 that day. Well, we got a notification next morning because you said, hey, we're going to lose some people. And actually, Stephanie, who's new in our office, was like, she's new to this business. Like, no way, you're going to lose that? And you're like, yes. First day, we got an email back that we lost 5. One, they asked not to come back because they weren't a team player, right? We were having some issues with. The training team knows that. And the other 4 just didn't show up.
Yeah.
They came for that first day. They did the orientation. They got the free candy, the free cup, the uniform, but they checked that box and then never showed back up. We called multiple times. Nobody ever showed up. And then every day we've lost 1 or 2 because they realize, hey, this isn't the business for me or what. So when you're opening a business, you got to understand that when you're training this time, you're spending all that money training, bring extras in because you're going to lose some.
Yeah, and what really the message that I try to tell our team is that when you're bringing on new employees, you don't want to be in the position of a defense, right? Because you're in a position to, hey, you have to keep all the staff that you have, because when you bring in people, they may or may not be able to accommodate to what you need them to.
Yeah.
In other words, you bring on 5 cooks and you may have 3 that say, I don't like grease and I don't want to fry anything. And so that's not going to work, right? So that puts us on the defense. So it's always better to be to hire double so that you can be selective as who you're going to continue to bring forth through the new store opening, because it's just a real challenge at the beginning to get these employees in here and train them up in the way that they need to be trained and give them all the materials. Some will succeed and some won't. So this just isn't for everybody, right? But this is a quick service restaurant, and grease and stress is not for everybody. But that's what I'd like to tell our team always, is that we like to be on the offense where we get to decide who gets to stay and who may not get to stay with us, unfortunately, if they can't come up to speed and do what we need them to do as employees.
I know one thing that came on the staffing, Justin, you came to my office yesterday and, you send out this email and you question all of us, like, hey, what's our first week sales going to be? And it's something fun we do in any restaurant we open. And then you were looking at their, being the COO, you were going through their staffing and their PARs and how many staff they had. And they had plenty of staff, but their projection sales were like not as high as we really wanted it. And it was funny, me and you laughed, I was like, well, some of our leaders voted that we're going to do 35,000 the first week, but we're only projecting 24. What are they doing?
Yeah, it wasn't in alignment with their guests, and it was, you absolutely have to staff for the sales that you want and you expect and adapt. And the first all the support is here in week one. So even back to the staffing, it's like, would you rather give them that? A lot of people decide if they're going to work for you in that first week that they work for you.
Yeah.
And right now is when we have all of the support, all of the talented people, all of the people who are really good at training, and even us to build morale, to help out where help is needed. And that's not the same experience if you have to hire people a week from now or you don't bring them in. So we have to forecast sales that we expect and we want. If we're not as busy, we can make sure that the place is beautiful, and maybe we do a little local store marketing, or maybe we teach how to make appropriate cuts and how to feel when that happens, and we know a leader is there just in case it gets busy again. So I would rather over forecast, make sure we have the right people, make sure we can do additional training. But you're absolutely right. We looked at a schedule that was $10,000 less than what their guesses were, and I think that's just a mindset thing of. We need to be guest focused and top line sales driven, and sometimes you can get absorbed in your numbers so much that when you open a store, you have got to focus on awesome first impressions. And if we're giving you the ability to have extra people, maybe someone opening the door or wiping tables, and we're giving that to you and you don't take it, then that's on you.
Yep.
That's on you for not taking that and not driving that hospitality. So but from our perspective, you're darn right we're going to take a look at it because we want to help. We want to make sure that they're setting them up for success. We've got the experience, right? We've done it.
Well, that's one thing Kim does, puts this on his budget, and when we go back to this budget, so we have to look at that, but really for the first 2 weeks, they kind of call your honeymoon period or what.
Yeah.
But then we kind of forget about the labor budget, because we want everybody to be trained properly. We don't want to be cutting people early or bringing people later. We want all the staff to be trained 100% properly. After about 2 weeks, that's when you start kind of cutting back on labor a little bit, because you said first impressions got to be great. We got to give hot wings, great hamburgers all the time, but you got to make sure that we hit it out of the park first couple weeks, right?
Yeah, and I think that it's kind of like you have to know the pulse of your restaurant, right? So we don't go in with budgets for labor at all the first couple of weeks, and then you kind of have to have a pulse of the restaurant. If you're still in your what you feel like it's your honeymoon sales, and you're just getting your behind handed to you, we're going to give you a little bit more grace on your labor budgets.
Yeah.
And I was surprised to hear that our leaders undercut our sales, but because they know.
You know what I think it was?
Our expectations.
I think it really was oversight, really, and like what you're always preaching to us.
Yeah.
Just go back and review what they're doing. Their laborers were there. They had staff. They had that. But that top number was like, me and Jessica looked at each other and said, what? It's like, we got to fix this, because here they are voting, it's 40. They're voting we're going to do 40 our first week, but they were really, and the numbers they put in the computer system of sales per day to forecast were half of that. And I think that was
making a connection.
Yeah,
we need to work on that as a leadership team.
That's
help them make that connection.
That's what's cool about our team, is that we all rally around them. Just because we're in our positions, we have to hover over and kind of micromanage a little bit, because they need that too, because they're focused on training these people.
Yeah.
They're focused on people getting the best trained people, and sometimes they overlaps that a little bit. So it was cool that we called on that too. But now we're here. We're opening.
Yeah.
We're opening. I think we've talked about our budget. We're going to finish that budget on building the store out. We hope to come under budget. I've asked you some questions, and we could probably share that any soon at what we spent on this store. And I think our plan is to do after we get the store open, and this is what we do in all of our stores. And I suggest you to try to do this, and this is something Kim really pushes on. After a couple weeks of your opening, you kind of call the post-opening. How did it go? How did our budget go? What did we miss on labor? Did we not staff enough? Did we not have enough food ordered? What was not working? How's our leadership, meaning our GMs and our shift leads, how are they working out? Did we lose any? What did we do wrong, and what could we have done better?
Yeah.
And that we'll be able to focus on that budget and dive into a little bit more, you know?
Yeah.
I keep hearing that phone ring like crazy. There's cars are just pulling
I'm
up here
waiting
looking.
for first
Yeah.
guests to walk in.
I
We're
do
letting them
have
in and we're
something
cooking
special.
their food.
Yeah.
Jacob,
This parking lot is busy.
Y'all got me some wings?
Oh, yeah, we got wings.
Yeah, so, you know, I know we all got some work to do and some things that we want to end up kind of doing here. And,
Holy moly.
yeah, so.
We get to eat, well, I guess the training team has gotten to eat wings before, but we're
Justin, it's okay. We'll sit there and we're going to try these wings out.
Gonna eat some new wings.
What happened here is I told the team when I was pulling up
All
here
right.
earlier, I said, you know, this is our first day of opening, and we want to have the first chicken wings out of here. So I didn't do blazing. I did a boneless honey barbecue. I wish I'd have
You
got-
didn't do blazing.
Yeah, no, there better not
Okay.
be blazing in here. So I wanted to be official and try this first wing, so we can officially say, hey, we
Wonderful.
got the first wing in of our stores here. So,
Yeah.
Love honey
so
barbecue,
as we
too.
go
So-
away from this, I just want to,
Let us see.
wish our team a good luck and
Yes.
bless this store, right?
Yeah.
And dear Lord, let this store do and provide to the community here. We're excited about being in Aldine, Texas. And we're excited what we can bring. It's like a party here. I just walked outside and Skechers is down the road on our shopping center, and they got like a DJ.
They're throwing a party right down there.
Is that for us or is that for them? I
That's
don't know.
great timing. I hope that was
Hey,
coordinated.
yes, I want to say hats off to their marketing team over there. This is a genius idea. They have a new restaurant opening just a couple of doors down,
Capitalizing,
and they're
yes.
capitalizing on
Yeah.
our opening.
That's
So
right, because they know we're
genius
going to get a
marketing
flow in there,
sketchers.
and they got a
Good
big,
job.
like a whole DJ set.
I'm gonna
up.
go
Yeah.
get myself some black non-slip shoes.
Really,
Yeah.
you get a discount
With
on
my
that
coupon.
too. Yeah, get your
Yes.
coupon. But hey, we'll keep you updated on this. But thank you for joining us, guys. And we're gonna enjoy these wings, and we'll see you soon. Okay, guys? Thank y'all.
Oh yeah.
Twice fried wings,
Twice
the
fries
best.
is the way.
All right,
Honey barbecue.
I gotta go do my job and start cooking some hamburgers.
Signing out. I need
Inside
to go
Expo.
spin
Sign
some
out.
wings.
'Cause I got stuff all on my face. Peace out, guys. Thank y'all.